I had bad moments. You know, I did
Everybody
things
does.
right. Like I did things I regret.
Yeah.
And I said things that I probably shouldn't have said. But everybody does. Yours just isn't on national TV.
Hi guys, welcome back to my podcast, Against All Odds. I'm your host, Yris Palmer, and today we have one of my really good friends, Cheyenne Davis, here. Some of you might recognize her from a number of MTV shows over the years, including Are You the One?, The Challenge, and Teen Mom. Welcome to the pod. Thank you for being here.
This is so weird to see you like in this setting.
I know. But pretend like they're not there. And it's just us having a regular conversation.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so I start every episode with a little icebreaker. You know how I'm big on astrology and zodiac signs.
Yes.
So for everybody that doesn't know Cheyenne, she is a Libra.
Yes.
And she's a true Libra. So I feel like Libra qualities are very hardworking.
Mm-hmm.
They're go.
Balance.
They're very into like prioritizing work first. My rising is a Libra, Shy. I don't know if you know that. Did you know
really?
That? Yes.
So that's why the work ethic is like hand in hand.
Yes.
Oh.
Do you feel like you're a true Libra?
Yeah, I do. I feel like we are very hardworking, we're very balanced people, but it takes a lot to like get us over the edge. But then once we're over the edge, there's like the tilt, the tilt. There's no coming back.
Yeah. So I also like to tell people like how we know each other, but like you should tell people how we know each other.
Okay. So I met Yris the first day of school, not our first day of school, for our girls. They go to the same school, and it was back to school night, and our girls' desks were next to each other. So we were sitting in the little seats together, and I was like, I knew we had mutual friends. And actually a long time ago, one of our mutual friends were like, there's this girl, Yris. She has a daughter. I really think you guys would be great friends. I want to introduce you guys. And I was like, no, I think like organic is better. Like I think
actually you slid in my DM.
No way.
Yeah.
Was it when Shannon messaged me?
No, you messaged me. I think when they
when they got into school. They got
Yes.
into school. Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
You're
this
like
was way before
summer.
that.
It was summer
yeah,
before.
This was like 2 years before the girls went to school. Shannon told me about you.
No. It was when you slid in my DM twice?
No,
I'm just kidding.
I'm saying Shannon told me about you 2 years before the girls got into school together.
Oh, okay, no, I was talking about
yeah.
when we found out that Ayla and Ryder were
in the
be
same class.
Yes, and they send an email or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, the girls are gonna be in the same
class
school,
together.
whatever. But then we actually met on parent night.
Yeah, and then we met again
because I first met Corey and Taylor, and I thought
you
Taylor
thought
was Ryder's mom.
Yes, I remember that. And then there was a birthday party.
Yeah.
We sat at the same table, and then
it was a kids' party,
yes.
and we literally connected.
Too good.
This
was like one of our first times having a conversation outside of school, and she was like,
we're going to Dubai for New Year's.
Yeah. I'm going to Dubai with my fiance. We're going to have a great trip. And I was like, that sounds really fun.
I was like, do you guys want to come?
I was like, yeah.
And then they came.
And then we came. I got home and I looked at Zach. I was like, you think it's weird if we go? Like, we don't really know them. They don't really know us. But like, let's just go.
And then long story short, fast forward to like, how many years have we been friends now?
Going on 4?
Yeah, 4 years.
Oh, wait.
Our mans are really good friends. They golf all the time together. Our kids are like best friends. Yeah. So we have 2 daughters and we have 2 daughters. Yeah, we do have 2 daughters and 2 little boys. And then Cheyenne just had her 3rd baby.
Yeah.
And yeah, where I just feel like our families are really good friends and we're so intertwined.
Yeah, it's very aligned. The boys now are at the age where they play really well together. I need you to have a 3rd.
Okay.
So relax. That Saint has a friend.
So you grew up in Altadena. Give me a little like BTS of what it was like. What family were you born into? I mean, I love Cheyenne's family. They're the tightest, closest family.
Close.
So just give me a little BTS of like your life growing up.
Okay, I'm from Altadena, Pasadena area. Grew up with both my parents. My parents were married for 25 years. I watched them really put energy into building a business. They've had the business now for, I think, like 27 years. They're still business partners. They're divorced now. But we grew up in a very stable, loving home. I have an older sister. I went to a Christian private school. Growing up, I was they used to call me a Bible thumper. I would literally carry a Bible in my backpack. I did not break any rules. I thought my sister was the biggest sinner in the world, and I reminded her daily. I was such a good girl.
Cheyenne? I'm just
I
kidding.
don't know. I don't know.
You actually went to college.
I went to college. I did 4 years at Hampton University. I graduated on the honors program.
You studied public relations.
I did. I did everything, quote unquote, like the right and traditional way.
Yeah.
And then I graduated college.
Mm-hmm.
And to be completely honest, I graduated and I couldn't get a job like anywhere. And I was like, but I graduated with honors and I just got this degree. And every place was like, but you have no experience. Mm-hmm. So I started working at my parents' office, which at the time still is in the Los Angeles Convention Center in the Business Service Center. So I was just working the front desk and I was depressed because I'm like, I just did all this.
Mm-hmm.
My parents just paid all this money for me to go to college and I'm not doing anything with my degree.
Mm-hmm.
And I was bored one day and I submitted an application for a reality show
And then the reality life happened.
Yeah.
What was the reality show that you first submitted for?
So at the time, I actually submitted to be a zombie on The Walking Dead. I was obsessed with The Walking Dead. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, how much fun would it be to be a zombie? Like, it was a joke, but I didn't know that it would turn into all this. So I got an email back and it was like, we don't think you'd be a good zombie. You have to take like a 16-hour course to be a zombie on the show and all this stuff.
Serious.
They're like serious about their zombies. But we don't think that you fit here. We think that you'd be better for this other show we want you to apply for, which was a dating show. But they didn't put the title of the show on it. And I was like, well, that's so dumb. Like, I don't need help dating. Like, I'm a good dater, And I filled out the application almost as a joke. So the questions would be like, how are you in a relationship? I'm like, I'm dominant. I'm the boss. Like, I step on men. Like, it was not my...
step on men,
It was
Cheyenne.
not my... I own that it was not my personality at all. And I got an email back and it was like, hey, we want to do an in-person interview with you. And I still was looking at it like, this is just funny, So I told my mom, I said, they want to see me in person. What should we do? So we went to the Grove and she spent like $1,000. Like she got my makeup done at like the Mac bar. We went to Top Shop. We went and got my hair done. Like she dressed me up and I go into, I think it was Lighthearted Production, one of the production places. And they see me and I started the interview off with saying like, that's not me. Like, I'm just going to tell you right now, like, that's not my personality at all. And they were like, well, that's okay. Like, let's get to know you and stuff. And I talked to them for an hour and they were like, okay, we're going to do another interview tomorrow. And it's going to be with all of our production and higher ups, but it's going to be on Skype, I think was around at the time. Because I was 20.
It was Skype.
It was Skype, right?
Yeah.
This was 13 years ago.
Crazy.
So I said, okay. So I was working at the convention center and I got on this Skype. I remember this day because it was a flower market show at the convention center because, the convention has all the shows. And I set my computer up in the office and my dad, and you've seen my dad. My dad is a big, large black man. And he lays down on the floor in the back of my interview and he's holding these like 5-foot flowers. And he's holding them so that it's my background on the interview, but they can see him.
Yeah.
And it's all these like higher ups from this network. And they're like, sir, what are you doing back there? And he's like, I'm not here. I'm just setting the scene.
That's hilarious.
And we were honestly taking it as like a joke. Like we were cracking up and they're like asking me all these questions. They're like, we're going to start to ask your daughter about like her sexual orientation and sex. And
your dad's like, go for it.
Yeah. You know my dad. My dad was like, okay. So, and I'm answering all these questions very openly in front of my dad. And they're like, I'm sure they're thinking this family's freaking weird.
But that is your family. You guys are very open about everything. And I feel like they're so supportive of you and everything that you do. And I want to talk about your mom for a second because her investing $1,000 for your audition, she's a Taurus. Okay. Yeah. Margaret is me. Okay. And she doesn't play. And I feel like she was like, no, you're going to go to this audition and look your best.
Yes.
And I fully stand behind you. And would you do the same thing if Ryder was going to audition for a reality show?
I would.
Yeah.
But I think I put emphasis on how much she spent only because back then that was
a big deal.
That was a huge deal.
Yes.
Like a huge deal. And I remember that. Like I can remember that day and getting my makeup done at the Mac bar. Like that was such a big deal. So I did the interview. We got down to the last question and my sister came in and started yelling at us because we had a line out the door. And she's like, you guys are playing around with these stupid people. Get off the floor, Dad. Shy, come back to work. So I shut the computer off. I didn't say bye or nothing. I just hung up on the people. And they called me back to back on my phone. They're like, we need you to answer the last question so we can officially submit you. Without this question, you can't be submitted. We need this question. So I get back on. I'm like super irritated. I'm like, ask the question, you know? Mm-hmm. And they do it. And then they go, okay, the next day I get a contract in my email. And I told my parents, I don't think I want to do this. And my dad was like, I think you should do it. Like, you just never know what can come from the opportunity. But go on there and represent yourself well. Mm-hmm. And represent us well, and know that your grandpa's gonna watch and your nana's gonna watch. So don't go on there, you know, screwing somebody on TV, basically.
Facts.
And I was like, okay, so that was my first reality TV show, and I never thought years later that it would turn into what it did turn into.
And so I feel like you now have been on reality TV for so many years. And I feel like the show that most people know you and you've built your audience on, and I feel like it's been your longest career, right?
Yeah.
Is Teen Mom.
Yeah.
But I feel like people don't know that you weren't actually a teen mom.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
You were 24.
Yes.
How did that happen? How is that possible?
So after I did Are You the One, they asked me to do the challenge. I did not know anything about the show either. Mm-hmm. I just said sure because at the time, now I just got my first Are You the One like check. I was like, oh, I can make money from this.
You're like, I'll do this again.
I'm like, hell yeah, I'll do this again. Peace out, Image Quest. Like, I looked at my parents like, never working for you again.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, I'll do that show. So I did the challenge. I ended up getting pregnant after the challenge, and I had Ryder, who's my oldest, and my friend Zaina worked at Viacom at that time, and she asked me, can I just shoot a 30 seconds of you and Ryder's dad explaining how Ryder got here? And I'm like, ugh, I don't.
And Ryder's dad, Corey, was also
on the challenge,
a reality show for MTV called The Challenge.
Yes. And I was like, sure, but you know, that story is a whole nother podcast. And I was like, I don't really want people to know. Like, I was not accepting of how I handled that situation. And she was like, we're not going to show anyone. I'm like, fine. So she shot the clip. It ended up getting passed around Viacom's office. And I got a call to do Teen Mom maybe 2 weeks later. They had said that a spot had just opened up on this show, Teen Mom OG. We want you to do it. I said, you guys know I'm like 25, right? Like, I'm not a teen mom. And they're like, yeah, we know, but you look young. And honestly, like, we want to continue to follow your journey. There's no other shows that fit in this lane of where your life is right now. So will you do it? And if I'm completely honest, at first I was like, I don't know, I'm going to give you a call back. And I Googled, how much do the girls from Teen Mom make? I called them back so fucking quick. Sorry, can you cuss on this? Yes. I called them back so quick.
What was the number? What'd you see?
So I saw at the time that one of the girls was in court, and it got released that she was making $200,000 to $300,000 a season. I looked it up. They were shooting 2 seasons a year, and the show shoots year round.
You were like,
I said, hello. I'm 16. I could be 16 any day of the week for you guys. Yeah. So now we're 9 years later. We've shot Teen Mom OG, Teen Mom Next Chapter, Teen Mom Family Reunion, and we've shot those shows for the past 8 years.
What was it like being on the show your first season as like the new girl on the cast?
Awful.
Yeah,
it was hard because
who messed with you, Shy? I'm just kidding.
The audience.
Oh.
Yes. Oh. They were not accepting because, number one, I was not a teen mom. I fully own that. And number two, I was the first person of color to join this cast that has been all white, basically. And I don't think that the audience was ready to see a person of color that did not come from a underprivileged background. I think that reality TV for brown people, we're pulling each other's hair out. We're arguing. We've come from the mud. Like, those are the stories that are highlighted, where I came from a different story. I grew up in private school. My parents have always done well. Like, I'm very educated. So there's a
lot of support.
The support, the village.
Businesses, they own houses, property.
Right. Like, I just don't think they were ready to see that.
Yeah.
And they were like, you shouldn't be here because you don't come from struggle. But there was other girls on Teen Mom that also didn't come from struggle, but they just didn't look like me.
Yeah.
So it was accepting of them, but not of me.
Yeah. I feel like you've shared so much of your life on reality TV. What has been one of your, let's say, favorite moments that you've shared? And then what has been one of your worst moments that you've shared?
Oh, gosh. Favorite moments. I've given birth to Ace on TV, which is so weird to say, but that was like one of my favorite moments that I've shared. I think that for like my husband and I, like Zach, you know, that's something that is so personal. And then to share that with the world, it's like, we're really, not only have we let you into like our homes and our lives, but like now I'm letting you into my legs. Like, I'm like, you've seen way too much. But I think that's like for sure one of like my top favorite moments. Worst moments is that when you do it for so long, you do forget that the cameras are there. And there is a clip that I always see pop up, and I'm in a pink like shirt and I'm pregnant with Ace and I'm in the car and Zach and I are fighting and I turned into like the Hulk.
Oh my God, I've never seen this clip.
Yeah. And they edited it like I kicked him out the car, but truth be told, he got out the car.
Oh, yeah, that's the one thing. It's like the edits are just so out of your control that...
Yeah. Everyone was like, oh, she kicked him out. I'm like, no. For safety, he got out.
Yeah, he got out.
Yes.
Is there anything you wish you would have known going into reality TV?
I wish that when I signed up to do Teen Mom, that I had more like information. I really think that I was not mentally prepared of what it all entailed. I also feel like I wasn't prepared from the standpoint of like comments and the negative energy that would be thrown towards me. I don't think I was prepared for that. And then I think I made a lot of like rookie mistakes. Like, we showed our house, like the outside of our house, and I think the other girls were okay doing that because, no offense to them, they live in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, and we live in the city of LA. So now I put almost like a target on my back with showing my home. It was just too easy for people to find us, and they had too much like accessibility to us. So when we did the next season, I was like, you guys can't show the outside of my house because I live in the city. And then that did make a difference that I saw.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for me now that I'm dipping my toes now in reality TV?
Honestly, Iris, I feel like you're so smart with like business stuff that I know your contract is like locked. Like, I know that is like done. But I think the biggest thing is realizing that like there's going to be people that love you and there's going to be people that hate you for no reason at all. And just stay truthful to like who you are. And my biggest thing is I care about what my family thinks about me. I care about if I'm a good friend. I can't care about Susie Q in Oklahoma that's mad at me for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But it goes in waves.
I don't like to read comments and stuff like that. I'm a big block. Like, I'll block. Like, you have nothing nice to say, do not comment. But do you read the comments?
I would say in the beginning, I read the comments and they crippled me. There would be days where I could not get out of the bed. And Zach would be like, get your ass out of the bed. You're really about to let this bitch talk about you and you're going to end your day. And I'd be like, my day is over. Like, I was crippled to it. So I went to therapy and therapy helped.
Zach's such a good sport. Shout out to Zach.
Yeah. Zach, it will be in the comments though, going off on people.
That's Troy too. I'll be like, Troy.
I'm like, stop, just stop. But he's like, no, I'm gonna tell her about herself. So I did have a few years where it was bad. And then after I got stronger, I realized, okay, I'm not gonna even read the comments. There was one year that it was bad, and my mom and my sister would actually log on to my page before I would, and they would go through and block and delete stuff so that I wouldn't even
see it.
Yeah. And I've gotten a lot better. I had a bad day today, I'm not gonna lie. I did say some stuff on the internet today. I had time driving here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'm matured now. I feel a lot better after I got it off my chest.
It needs to be told sometimes.
Yeah.
I feel like you really, I say this with any sport and career, like the longer that you stay in it, how hard it is to actually maintain a career or to keep doing something. And I feel like you were on Teen Mom for like 8 years. As long as Ryder was born. That's crazy. Why do you feel like you managed to stay as long as you did?
I think that I was always true to who I am. Like, it's very easy when you do reality TV to feel like you have to fit a character in order to keep getting this spot.
Right.
But to me, if you just show up in your own actual reality, there's a reason they picked you to begin with. So it's like, I don't think I ever changed my core. Of course I grew. I started when I was 22. I'm 33 now. So if I didn't grow, that's an issue. And I elevated, but I think that I really stayed strong in like my beliefs and my morals, and I had a lot of faith, and I feel like that showed. I had bad moments. I did things right. Like I did things I regret, and I said things that I probably shouldn't have said, but everybody does. Yours just isn't on national TV. Mine are. That's just the difference.
Yeah, we're not perfect. We never claim to be.
Not at all.
What do you feel like is the biggest misconception of reality TV stars?
That we're not human. Like, I think that, especially with social media today, we're almost treated like a product as opposed to like a human being. I know you probably have heard this saying, not specifically about you, but do you feel like, I feel like I've heard when you do reality TV, it's like, oh, you're selling your soul, or like you just want to be famous, or like, what do you think of that? I think that when I first signed on, I was like, wow, this is like a fun way to make money. Like, I'm being paid to almost like share my life. And I thought, wow, this is so cool. And then I realized, wait, I can actually like use my voice and make a difference and show that there are beautiful Black families that are full of love, and that there's a whole nother side to what is not being shown on reality TV. So then I was like, okay, now I feel like I have more of like a purpose, and then Ryder has a rare disease. I was like, okay, I can talk about this and bring awareness to this. There was different things that I felt like I would try to put in each season on purpose, as opposed to just treating it like this was all fun. It was like, no, I can actually like have a message that I can try to get across.
Yeah. I love that. Okay, in addition to being a reality star, because that's not all you are multiple things, and I can vouch for that. I feel like you are an amazing mom. You really pour into your children. You are a hustler. Like you are a true go-getter, despite you being like born into a well-off family, or like a family that like you could just be a spoiled girl that's just like, I'm good, I don't need to work, and my dad's gonna leave me all these properties. like no, it's really in you. Like, you are very smart and a hard worker. And Ryder, I feel like we have very similar mindsets into pouring into our daughters. Ryder started a nail polish business when she was, how old was she?
4 or 5, yeah. 4.
She does her little brand deals, and like we have little mini us.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love the girls. I love the mindset, because I can see how the mindset that my parents put into me. It was never, I always knew that, if I ever needed something, of course I can call my parents. But my dad and my mom always were like, no, you have to work hard. Like, you have to work hard. You have to show up. There's all these things that like we were constantly taught. I always say that my dad hazed me my whole life, but it made me into who I am. And it just made me not to be lazy. Like, I don't have a choice but to go get the bag.
Yeah.
And I think that now I'm watching me do the same thing for Ryder, the same way you do for Ayla.
Yeah.
And I love it. I mean, even this past, like a week ago, we're on your birthday trip, and I sat there and I watched the girls come up with the whole business plan.
They did, and we're gonna invest in
Yes.
it, and they're gonna go sell it at school
Yes.
because their school is where you can sell
Yes.
these things.
So yesterday, Ryder was like, "Mom, me and Ayla are making money," and I was like, "That's right, girl." Like, I can see that at such a young age, they're already thinking how we are, and I'm like, okay, I love this. Like, we're building them up to be bosses.
And the confidence. I'll say that too. That I noticed with both of our daughters is like they are very confident girls, and I think that has a lot to do with like who they're looking up to, and we are their role models, and just being very conscious. And another thing I really wanted to point out about you that I feel like, you know, with friends, like you go through many seasons or whatever, you are a very accountable person. Like you take accountability for all aspects of your life. Like you're a very aware person.
I feel like that took a lot of growth. I think in college, I learned how to be more aware or how to be a better friend. I have the same two best friends from college from the first day of school. And in high school, I didn't have that necessarily like core group. So then when I got to college, I learned, and then it was like all these things about how to be a good friend. I'm calling my mom every 2 seconds, like, what do I do? What do I say? How do you act? You know? So I feel like it took a lot of like growing up and maturity to get there. But I think it's very important to be aware and to be able to take accountability, especially in friendships and marriage and everything, and to be able to say, yeah, you're right. I did do something that maybe was wrong or you didn't appreciate, and I can fix it. You know, I don't think there's...
Or just the communication.
Right. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I would much rather have friends or people in my village or my corner that are able to say, like, I think you're going down the wrong path. Or I don't really think that you should do this. Like, I want to hear it. If I look bad, tell me. Like, if it's not fitting, don't have me stuff my ass in something.
Like, let's be honest.
Let's be honest. Which I think is rare nowadays.
Yeah. It is.
I think it's rare.
Yeah, it is.
It's hard to find.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about Saint. Your third
Sainty
baby. I'm obsessed with him. He is, no offense, Zach's twin. Ugh, I know.
You and Troy are rude.
They say princess. They say princess Troy's twin.
No, for real. You had no part in Prince.
He has my dimple.
Goodbye.
And my personality.
Goodbye.
Okay, Cheyenne. Anyways, I love Saint. I'm so happy. Isn't it crazy when you have another baby? You're like, don't you feel more complete?
Yeah, I do. And it's like I wasn't incomplete, but now I just feel more complete.
And he was a journey that you shared openly on Teen Mom. But let's talk a little bit about your fertility journey with Saint.
So when Zach and I decided that we wanted to get pregnant with Ace, I was like, come on, let's do the do, you know? And we did it, of course. And then I'm like, taking pregnancy tests. And I'm like, this isn't happening like as quick as I thought this was going to happen, you know? And it took us around 6 months to get pregnant with Ace. And it was around that 6 months I was starting to look at him a little like, I know I'm fine. What's with you? And then we got pregnant. So that was Ace. And then when we decided to get pregnant with Saint, it took longer and longer. And it was about a year in, and I was like, I think we should just talk to a fertility doctor. And we met with one. We actually we shot it on the show, and she was really nice. And she was like, you know, at your age now, you are right to come in, because after a year, we should look at other things. I ended up doing one of the full body scans, and when it came up,
renewal.
Yeah, my ovaries lit up. It was like red on the scan, and it showed that I had a lot of cysts and I have PCOS and all these things. So she was like, we have to run tests. Like, I tested my tubes. Zach got his sperm tested. We did all these things, and then it was, now we're on year 2 and I'm still not pregnant. And then I met with another like holistic fertility doctor. We were starting this program. It was a 13-week program to basically try to get pregnant like holistically, by changing the way we eat, standing outside in the sun, doing therapy, like all these things. And then I was like, well, if that doesn't work, I was 4 days away from doing a fertility treatment plan. And then we found out that we were pregnant.
Look at God.
Yeah. because I did not want to pay that money. No, I'm just kidding. But no, really, it was crazy. And I told myself I was going to stop taking pregnancy tests because I feel like it messes with your mental. You're taking these tests, you're getting negative. You're taking these tests, getting negative. So I told myself I'm never taking one again. I'm just going to stop. And that day, something told me, like, just take the test. Just take the test. And I took the test and I sobbed in my bathroom for like 5 minutes. I did not know what to do with myself.
So what advice do you have for women right now trying to get pregnant that can't get pregnant?
You know, I think that if you have any thought in your head of going to see a doctor, don't let anyone shy you away from not seeing one. Because I had a lot of people who were like, oh, it's just been a year. I've been doing this for so long. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's bodies are different. So I always tell women, like, if you feel like you should, do it. Like, you should go see the doctor. And I think that women now need to start freezing their eggs a lot younger than what we were taught. Or like, no one talked to me about freezing my eggs.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a woman that's like career oriented and you're like, I have all these dreams and goals and you're not in a relationship right now. Like, my fertility doctor said that she really suggests between that age of like 25 and 28 to get your eggs frozen. Yeah. I just think right now there's so much information out there. It's so easy to get sidetracked on the internet and on social media. Go and see a real doctor.
I know. I kind of want to go just to see how many eggs I have in there. Like,
you should.
You know, I might have 3 more babies or something in like 2-3 years.
Saint needs a friend.
Yeah. What do you feel like is next for you?
What's next? You know, I feel like a part of me is like, do I continue with reality TV? Do I stop? You know, do I invest into a franchise? You know, I think I'm at this like crossroad where there's all these different paths and I'm just kind of standing at like the stop sign. I'm like, I don't know which way I want to go yet.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I've shared so much of my life these past decade that right now I really enjoy being present and being like at home.
Yeah.
Like, I love waking up and having all my kids in the bed and Zach yelling at me about having all the kids in the bed. Like, I love that. Like, I love just laying there with all of us or just having like the time to really pour into the kids.
Yeah.
Because when I had Ace, I was still shooting Teen Mom. So I had delivered him and started shooting 2 days after I delivered him.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing, like, people don't get. Well, now I get it too.
Yeah.
Like, the reality
it's work.
TV job, it's a lot of work.
Yes. So I feel like I didn't get to enjoy his newborn era and stage because I was working. Where right now I really am enjoying Saint. And I'm like, wow, like, this is what it's like to do this, you know?
It's nice to you've been on the go for 8 years on Teen Mom. And so now I feel like you have a good little break and you can, you know, refuel your little creative mind. And I feel like you've built such a good community that everybody that does love you and follow you still follows you on Snap because you are very active and still showing your day-to-day life on there.
Yeah.
So if you guys are missing Cheyenne, head over to Snap because that's where she's at.
Snap is like my own mini like reality show now.
Yeah.
And I feel like I love Snapchat. Like, everybody knows how I feel about you know how I feel about Snapchat.
She's put all of our friend group onto Snapchat. I am on Snapchat because of Cheyenne.
Yes, but Snap is great. And I feel like Snap is one of the only social media platforms that you can control like your own income. Like, I can post on there and know like I can make an income from here, where you can post on Instagram and you're waiting for a brand deal or something. But Snapchat is like, it's like your own business in a way.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I think you've shared a lot and I appreciate you for coming here. I like to end every episode with dropping a gem. So for anybody, just a mom, future reality star, like whatever gem you want to drop for everybody listening today, just drop us a gem.
I think that right now where I'm at is I'm telling myself this, is that it's okay to not always be okay. And I feel like when you do reality TV, when you do social media and content creation, there's always a face that we have to have. of being strong or tough and everything is put in the right place. But that's not the reality of things. So for anybody who's like struggling mentally or just not having a good day, like it's okay to sit in that, and it's okay to not always be okay. And that doesn't make you a bad person. It doesn't make you anything, but it's okay.
Makes you human.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Shy. I love you. I love your family.
My family loves Yris, guys.
That was today's episode on Against All Odds. Against All Odds is a Hyphenate Media Group production in partnership with iHeart's My Cultura Podcast Network. For more of your favorite shows, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.